What are you looking for by using these numbers and measuring everything? What is the search for?
Well, the search, right, for all of us is ultimately happiness. And so, the question though is how do you get to happiness, and what are the behaviors that are leading to happiness, right? And so, on the one hand, drinking a beer in the moment, right, feels great. And there is happiness and there is relaxation, and there we can talk about like the psychological benefits of it. On the other hand, right, it inarguably degrades performance. It can lead to, less good sleep. So in the long run, is it truly leading to happiness or not? I don't think there's a clear answer. And so, but it is using all these numbers to quantify things like nutrition, exercise, and again, figuring out like, what does it mean? What's it doing to me? And is it leading me toward my goal of happiness? I think a lot of people, right, would be horrified by this thing. And even I'm learning to use it, where if you're tracking all these numbers and, your heart rate, your breathing rate, like, wouldn't that just drive you crazy? And sure. So then you even have to like balance out, like, well, how do I use this tool to get me to where I want to go and not just become obsessed over it? And so even that I appreciate is this sort of balance. But to me, it's part of discovery, right? And so I try to look at the world through the eyes of the 7-year-old Bill, the guy that to everything was new and wondrous, and finding ways, as I'm now in my 50s, to continue to bring that wonder to the world through these new insights that I have into myself and the world around me. And again, then doing the same thing back for my clients in this one specific narrow area, and quantifying the things that that they're experiencing in their campaign. So again, it's this place where the numbers and the messy world intersect that I just find beautiful.
So I have two things to tell you. It's right up this alley. If you're searching for happiness, for anybody listening, I get philosophical in this part of the show usually because never used to like philosophy, but now I love it. There is a book called Happiness Advantage. It's by a gentleman called Shawn Achor, Shawn, Achor, Achor, Shawn Achor. So I would highly recommend reading this book. So Bill, the book is exactly what you're talking about. So if you are doing things to be happy, to achieve happiness, then the direction has to be reversed. In other words, those things that you're doing to be happy, you will be doing those things while being happy. That's what the book suggests. And basically the way Shawn Achor puts it is, we index our happiness to doing certain things, achieving certain goals. So we think that when I get this, when I do this, when I do that, when I get there, I will be happy. However, the human psychology is our goals, our desires change all the time. So by the time we achieve those things that we set out to achieve, or we do those things that we set out to do, now we want something else. So therefore, we're never happy. So he says that this has to be like the thoughts in the early days where people thought the earth was flat and that everything revolved around the earth, until in 1300s Copernicus came along and invented the telescope and said, hey everybody, look, we are not in the center of the universe. In fact, we revolve around the sun. So that's how the happiness should be handled. We've got to be maintaining a happy state of mind at all times. while doing the things that we do, which will then bring everything that we want to do around to us instead of us chasing after it. So that's the book. And therefore, he wrote this book for us to have some actionable tips in order to physiologically maintain that state of happiness, because it's a function of the neurochemicals that the brain releases, that we condition our brain to behave certain way that gives us the happiness, which over time goes away because we condition to do certain things every day we're doing. So we don't want to be doing those things. We want to be behaving certain way. And so he shares those tips about how you recondition your brain to put you in a happy state of mind. So that's what the book is about. And I love the book and I highly recommend it.